So the yard, the map, in Grounded can be pretty big. It's enormous. There's a lot of stuff to see, a lot of places to go, and a lot of times you find yourself having to run all the way from one side of the map to the next because you need berry leather, or if you got that you needed toenails, or you needed clay, and so you're just zigzagging all around the map, and it can be very, very time consuming. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I have set it up in such a way that I can get around this yard quickly and give you some tips on how you can do it too. And the investment cost to do this is really, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad. You're going to have to carve out some time to farm some materials and get stuff built. But here you have the yard. Now, I have a base here. I've got a base here. I've got a base here. I've got a base here, here, and way up here. So I've got a lot of places where resources are being stored in different spots, in different chests. And sometimes I need to get stuff from one place to the next. And that's just sort of the nature of this game. So, since I don't want to be running throughout this entire map all the time, I have set up a series of zip lines that will get me from one major location to the next, so that any running I have to do is pretty limited. Now, this is my travel station. I chose to put it right up here on the upper yard wall. I did that because elevation is key when it comes to making zip lines. When you have elevation, you don't have to worry about running into things that are obstructing the line of sight for the zip line, etc. So elevation is key. So I picked a nice tall spot. Now I'm going to take you to the top and show you what we're working with here. Now this tower, it took me 3 hours to build, maybe 3 hours. Not too bad. It's really just one gaming session where you're like, listen, I'm gonna take the gaming session tonight to set this up so that I never have to worry about it again. Trust me, it's worth the investment. Up and down this rock wall, there are aphids for food. There are weeds. There are dandelions and husky weeds all throughout this whole area, just on the other side of this wall. Grass everywhere. Everything you need to build pallets for grass pallets, stem pallets, it's all right here. So you're very self-sufficient right here. You've got everything you need. And I will mention that while I was setting this up, I did make sure to just have a place where I can just crash, store the basic stuff that you're going to be using for building pallets, sconces, all that stuff. And I did set up a palisade wall around it because every now and then you get ladybirds and the ox beetles are nearby. The ox beetles don't come up here really, but the ladybirds sometimes will meander up here, red ants. Nothing that poses too much of a threat to you personally, but you don't want them breaking your build, right? So I set up that palisade to keep them away from it. But from up here, I have a zip line that takes me down to the base of the tree. And from there, it's a very short walk to my original base. And then from down there, I have another zip line that takes me up to the upper yard. I've got one way over there that takes me from the bottom of this zip line up to the rock wall over there. From there, I've got zip lines that take me down towards the picnic table. But then I also have this zip line that takes me over to my main base. There's nothing in the way. I made sure to build my tower tall enough that nothing is obstructing this, and it'll take me all the way to my main base, which is nice and elevated, very secure. And I don't have to run over all of this upper yard area that's full of... There's a wolf spider right there. See it right below me? There's wolf spiders. There are ox beetles, ladybirds, red ants, soldier red ants in that area. I don't want to mess with any of that. So I have this zip line that takes me to the top of my base, right? And now, a very short zip with no confrontation whatsoever. And now I'm all the way up in the thick of the upper yard with quick access, whether I need pine cones, pupa, whatever I need, quick access to it from here, right? And this is my base. You know, I've got the nice little bedroom here, my respawn point. Everything I need, all here, very self-sufficient in my my little high-rise base. But yes, this is what I recommend that you do. I highly recommend that you take the time to craft your zip lines. They're really not too costly. They cost, you're gonna need your silk threads, your silk rope. That is important because that's the biggest cost investment. Some of these zip lines cost me about, 25 silk rope to create because they're so long. Other than that, it's weed stems and clay. Super, super easy. And just like that, I'm up here. I've got access to most of the upper yard. Anything that I need to get to, I can just glide to from here very quickly. And it's not much of a walk after that. So yeah, let me show you the rest of the zip lines, take it to and from, and you can see just how helpful this is, how quickly I can get around the yard. So here I am in the very upper yard, but with a few quick zips, you know, you're looking at less than a minute to get to the other side of the map, which is so nice. It's so nice. I was really happy when I made took out the time to create this travel system. One big tower, sort of the central hub, and everything branches off of that. This tower was the biggest cost investment. Everything else was pretty basic. I do recommend that as you're zipping around, I normally have my compliance badge active, but while I'm zipping, I have a dandelion tuft on, just in case, on the off chance I happen to get booped off of the zip line by a bee, maybe that's in the flight path. It has never happened, but I'm paranoid, so I always have the tuft on when I'm zipping. And you can just get on the zip line, and while you're zipping, you can change out what you need to change out. Easy peasy. But yeah, it's a 30-second run from my main base to the oak tree. And from there, I've got 3 zip lines to work with to take me to different parts of the upper yard. And once I'm up here, I have even more zip lines over here to take me to other parts of the yard, like down to the picnic table, where I have another base down there. I've got a swamp base down here that's labeled B. That's where all the mosquitoes and gnats are flying over that swampy area. I have a little swamp base down there so I can farm my Heelbasa parts. But you see, it's all very safe. I've set it up in such a way that I don't have to go into the thick of the yard for any of my travel now. Unless I want to, unless there's something specifically I'm hunting down. But just to get from one side of the yard to the next, there's no danger anymore. I've got more zip lines here. It'll take me all the way down next to the picnic table. You can set them up to take you straight to the picnic table if you want. But I've got them taking me down lower, closer to my 2 bases, my swamp base and my picnic table base that's over there. But you can see how quickly I'm getting around this yard to all my various bases and outposts. So if I'm like, ah, shoot, I left some of my supreme quartzite over here in my delta base. 30 seconds of ziplining, here I am at my base, and I can grab whatever I need that I left over here at this one. And while I'm here, if I need to drink, eat, whatever, I can do that. Oh, heck yeah. I needed to get my my supreme quartzite shards so I can take them back to my other base. There you go. And if it's nighttime and you need to sleep, hey, take a quick snooze, no problem. And you set these things up so that they're running while you're gone. So anytime you come back to these hubs, you can get your glue, you can get whatever it is that you've been stockpiling. I like this base because it's super close to all these orb weavers. So this is important. If you're making zip lines, you need to have silk rope. How do you get silk rope? Come down here and fight these orb weavers. See them walking around in the tire there? And there's tons of webs under the tire too. Break those up and get your bits. Easy peasy. So there you have it, y'all. That's how you get around the yard quickly and safely without any worry about getting involved in any engagements at all. And this is also helpful for if and when you die and you have to respawn and you need to get back to where you were quickly. Having a system of zip lines to take you to those places quickly is very helpful. So there you have it. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you did. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.